Shabbat Shalom, everybody. You know, it's no coincidence, at least according to the Rabbi, that we read our Parsha this week, Hitavo, always a week or two right before Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, before the High Holy Days. And that's because in our Parsha there's a very long list. There's 98 curses, bad things that will happen to us if we choose not to follow God's mitzvot. And according to the Rabbi, we read these curses right before the High Holy Days as a motivator. It's supposed to scare us, to tell us what will happen if we don't change our ways, if we don't commit to being the better versions of ourselves in the days ahead. And while fear can be a powerful motivator, to me, when I think about doing God's mitzvot, when I think about wanting to be a better version of myself, I like to think that we do so, not because we're scared of what will happen if we don't, but because we recognize the value, the meaning, and the fulfillment of what it brings to us, of what it does for others if we do. And I think that's one of the many reasons why when we read this passage in the Torah reader is encouraged to read so very quietly and in a very small voice. Because while we need to think about the consequences of our actions, more important than the negative, than the bad stuff that might happen to us, is what we get. The meaning, the reward, the fulfillment that we get out of living a life that's the best version of ourselves and following God's mitzvot. So my hope and prayer for us, as we embark on this journey together that's the High Holy Day season, that we think about why we come together, we gather together, we engage in tradition, and that we do so not because we're necessarily worried about what might happen if we don't, but that together, when we gather together in community, we can appreciate and value the good that comes when we come together, when we pray together, when we support each other as a community. Wishing you all a Shabbat Shalom.